Hello everybody, I'm Richard Moore, North Mississippi Anti-Gang Stalking Association and YouTube, United States Anti-Gang Stalking Association. So for those that watching me on YouTube, I know the, well on both of these, the, whatever it's called, the live chat feature is open, and you're welcome to make comments, whatever. That'll be after the fact. It's all I can do to talk, much less trying to field questions and stuff. Not quite that coordinated. So due to the rural area that I'm in, and the just the prolific infiltration of morons with gadgets, sometimes my streaming is interfered. So I have to run multiple cameras. Sometimes I have to upload it later and what have you. So I apologize if it does, if we have some connection difficulties. If that happens, sometime today or within the next 24 hours, I'll have a good copy uploaded. I'm trying to cover as many subjects that I feel need to be covered. You know, and we're talking obviously about gang stalking. And so if we go to the basics, and I want to go back to the basics. Gang stalking is real. It is. It's not something that that people with mental disorders imagine. There's no such thing as mass delusion of people just having the same delusion, or they picked up pointers online, or so forth and so on. So I don't think that we're really, but there are a segment of people that perpetrators that love to beat that drum. So I feel it's important to lay out the basics of gang stalking, and then I'm going to get into some individuals that are in prominent positions and so forth, and some of their skeletons that I'm sure in their lifetime never anticipated someone to be speaking about it publicly. And that I'm going to do today, my friend. I try to make it a point to do that as many times as possible. So I made myself a few notes as if I needed them. First of all, gang stalking, when an individual is targeted. Now, this is when, the first thing I'm going to mention here is when the victim actually realizes, that they're targeted. Keep in mind that the organization, I'm going to tell you who they are. None of this is a mystery. So I'm not trying to figure out what's going on, who's doing it, how can you prove it. Folks, the jury's in on all that, okay? And hopefully when I get through, many victims will be a lot further along than they were before they started. Hopefully they will be. But prior to you realizing that you were being stalked, you were a victim, the homework had already been done. There's surveillance, everything from what you eat for breakfast in the morning, what time you go to bed, where you work, your travel patterns, your where you, the people you associate with at work, where you go to church, everything that you do, who you're dating, who you're fooling around with, whatever, they spend a considerable amount of time, effort, and money doing their homework, and then they've got a profile, and they've entered that into the beast, and so now they're able to tailor and organize the crash dummies and that are involved in stalking. And no matter what segment that a person is involved in, as it refers to criminal stalking, the deep state, when I say morons, I'm talking about you too, okay? So, and I'm saying that because I've got plenty of creepy, perverted, moronic stalkers that that follow me, and of course, I mean, what else would they do? That's what stalkers do. So I know that I'm talking to them as well, and it's and so note to them, I'm going to sleep good tonight, and I just can't imagine how any of you perpetrators sleep at night. You must believe that hell isn't a real place, but I'm here to tell you it's real. It's hot and it's forever, and that's your next jumping off spot. Okay, now, so when you realize that you're being victim, the first thing they do is the smear tactics. They want to destroy your reputation. Now, there's many ways they do that. By they may set a person up, plant drugs on them, or in their vehicle. They love to do this, especially someone that a person that may have used drugs recreational or recreationally or had a friend that had a habit or whatever. They will absolutely capitalize on what they perceive as an easy target for them. That's how I was targeted, and in many cases, I'm not the only case. They'll entrap them. They put underage pornography on my computer. I had a foreign exchange student that claimed responsibility for it under oath and so forth. But the computer was owned by me, and so I was in possession of it. It never ceases to amaze me that I'll have people that I've be corresponding with and all that, and they say, "Well, we didn't know that," and that makes me question that individual. That's part of being a victim, my friend. Is they set out initially to destroy my life. 9 years in prison, lost everything, friends, family, isolate that. How many funerals that I missed? There's no way, no amount of money, no amount of reparations that could make good on what has already been done to me. The intention was to destroy, with all targets, their credibility, because what is going to take place in their life, they need a person that will have zero credibility. They want to destroy their character and their reputation, demoralize them, dehumanize them, and this is that's the objective. Okay, so I don't need to get a lot of it. Well, I've never had a speeding ticket and all that. I can't help that, but nonetheless, that's how it starts. Okay, and once you're targeted, let me clear this up. I've had people, not many people, I had ladies say, "Well, you know, they was doing that to me for a while," and I looked there and said, "Really?" I said, "Well, they're not stalking you anymore." "No." I said, "Well, then you're a stalker." And she went, "No, I'm not doing that." I said, "Well, you're doing. It's one or the other. Either they're stalking you or you're stalking. I mean, this is the Roach Motel, sweetheart. You check in, you don't check out. I mean, I don't. This is me you're talking to." You can sell that to somebody else that's buying. I'm not buying. That's the deal. The last thing they want is someone that it's like somebody quitting the mafia. You know, I just can't stomach all the racketeering and murdering anymore. You know, I'm just going to go to the house there, Alfonso. Is that cool? It doesn't work like that. Okay, and this organization, which is ran by the government and by law enforcement. Okay, this is not, again, not a conspiracy. I'm going to direct you to their websites, and you read it. It's not a secret, folks. The secret is what they're not telling you. You're not reading between the lines. Some people are just not reading it all. You know, if the local news reader is not talking about it, well then hell, it must not be important. And that's the country we live in nowadays, folks. We've got so many Americans that base their life's decisions on someone that can barely read, a news reader, or some leftist Nazi news organization like CNN or ABC, CBS, those people, and they're going to tell you it's propaganda. And this reading we're having, I mean, we've just had a presidential election, or have we? What the hell's really going on? Okay, so the case in point. So that's the first thing that they're going to do is destroy that. Then the second thing is their mantra is this: hit them in the pocketbook. They will destroy you financially. So for you not to, for people, it's one thing having to deal with a bunch of moronic assholes out there that have drank the Kool-Aid, and now you find yourself having to explain yourself about something that you're not guilty of. That's why I have issues with people saying, well, you know, I didn't know this about you. I said, look, I'm going to tell you something. There's a lot of things you don't know about me. And I can give a tinker's damn if you know anything else about me. But I'm not going to sit here and explain myself to you. Those days are long since been gone, okay? I'm not looking for validation. I'm not looking for someone to jump up and say, I'm a believer. Okay, I'm sold. Where do I sign? I'm not in for any of that. My job is to do one thing, and that is to tell the truth, expose the crime, expose the criminals, and to be a mouthpiece, a spokesperson for the countless, the hundreds of thousands of people out there, victims, that feel like they have no voice, have no hope. They're at the end of their rope. They're at the edge. They've taken all they can take. They have nowhere to turn. They have been forsaken. They have been betrayed. And the only thing that looks good to many of them is a funeral. Folks, I want to tell the victim that that is a lie from the pits of hell. And this is what the program wants you to do. They want you to self-implode and to die. All targets. That's their end. Now, there are targets that do flip, and they become stalkers. And they control them as well. They're victims as well. But I'm not shedding any tears for a ship-jumping, backstabbing, coward, yellow belly victim turned perp. Okay? You're the worst of the worst. You know, so I've got my own opinion on what they should do. But I'll never be a candidate or material. I'm not for sale. What they did to me and took from me cannot be figured on a calculator. So, with that said, I guess you could say I may be seeking my pound of flesh. Not may, but I am. And I think many victims out there are at that same point. And I'm going to tell you, folks, the good news is we're going to get our pound of flesh. Let me run through this right quick. They wanted so they hit you in the pocketbook. Now they are given the green light by law enforcement. I know this firsthand. Union County, Mississippi Sheriff's Department green lighting perpetrators to kick my door off the frame, take what they want, and assuring them they wouldn't be arrested, much less even be questioned. Now I can get this sworn testimony and substantiate this in spades. So that means Jimmy Edwards, the sheriff of Union County, is the chief criminal, not the crime fighter, criminal in this county, and that's usually the case with most of the especially in North Mississippi. I can speak for that. I know that there are some sheriffs, that over sheriff's departments that are not with the program, and they are as scarce as hen's teeth. Okay. So with that said, why? People may say, well, why do you believe that? Well, I mean, this is not a belief mechanism. This is a factual deal. And I'm going to give you the breakdown and maybe you'll understand that, the facts of that a little better. Is all law enforcement bad? No. Law enforcement runs the program, though. So make no mistake about it. That's how these morons that drive around these dumb looks on their face, swarming you with cars, with color harassment, noise harassment, flash mobs, theater and all that stuff, they feel like they're 10 foot tall, bulletproof. They're not. Especially if they're doing it within reaching distance of me, or if I can get to them before they can run. They're fast, folks. I mean, they can get going in a car and on foot quicker than anything I've ever seen in my life. I've never had one stick their chest out and dare me to say something to them. Never. I pray for that day. And there's people watching me right now that know me, that have been with me, and can attest to that very fact. I'm not a superhero, but I can tell you one thing. This old boy here, playtime's been over a long time ago, okay? And I'm not chasing ghosts and shadows and spirits and all this other stuff, all right? I'm chasing real people. And we're going to talk about the bricks and mortar of this deal, okay? We're not going to talk about all their gadgets and all that stuff. I can give a tinker's damn about that, okay? What they got in their pocket or on their desk or in their mama's basement, okay? All I can tell you is wherever they are, I'm coming. We're coming, all right? And we're going to be just as intrusive, if not more, than they have been on our lives. We are unwilling participants in a lab rat, Stasi, COINTELPRO, organized criminal stalking program from hell. We'll lay all that out in just a second. So they're encouraged to destroy, and I have pictures where they have absolutely done it. Destroy property, steal property. So they recruit these people. These are people. Usually these frontline people here are people that if you've seen them, you know it's if they've ever had a date, it's somebody that else that they're dating that's never had a date either, or they've had to pay for it. But they wouldn't do well in a spelling bee. Probably never owned a toothbrush in their life. There's a common thread that runs through all of them. Okay, so now it's okay, and they love to get the ones that are on drugs, illegal drugs, and of course that's furnished as well, as we know that if anybody in this country thinks that the Mexican cartel are so slick, they're able to smuggle metric tons of methamphetamine in this country under this all watchful eye of the federal government, Yet Al Qaeda can't get a thimble full of C4 into this country. I mean, so the guys in the Middle East that have got more money than you can imagine, access to everything, all the technology in the world, everything. But the Mexicans, the mariachi bands have outsmarted. Listen, folks, woo, if anybody's buying any of that garbage, then is it any wonder we're having issues with this election here, and a whole lot of other things. Okay, so law enforcement. This is how the Sandinistas and El Salvador, that when the CIA was allowing cocaine to be shipped into the United States in the 80s, and how many people were addicted to crack cocaine. I mean, it was the CIA, folks. Do your history. It wasn't Pablo Escobar. It wasn't Manuel Noriega. Noriega couldn't believe. I mean, they came and arrested him and said, the audacity. I mean, hell, y'all the ones had me doing all this, you know, but they made him the scapegoat. Same deal with Pablo Escobar. I mean, he was just as confused as, and people say, well, yeah, he's the drug lord and all that. Well, who made him the drug lord? Folks, now we're in 2020. We think, well, you know, these times are different. Yeah, they're different because, you know, and here's what's different. You know, for 100 years or better, we had the Ku Klux Klan, and you know, it gets me. These old white men, they just raise hell about having to wear a mask now going to Walmart. You know, and I'm quick to tell them, say, well, man, why you got a problem with it? You wear them at the Klan rally, but you know, they don't think that's funny. Of course, I don't think it's funny. But no, they're not wearing the mask and doing the rallies now because the Klan is all inclusive. So Uncle Tom's and Aunt Tom's are part of the Klan too. The African Americans that were oppressed in the '60s, well, now they're down with Whitey, and they can torture people and harass people, and stalk people, and do all this stuff. And where, I mean, you know, this is exactly what's going on, by the way. So hit them in the pocketbook. That destroy your property, tamper with your car, have a window shot out, tires cut, scratching, kid, and all that. So you'll never catch one of them doing it. Now I've got cameras and stuff in my car, and I caught just, I'm talking about, he looked like 500 pounds of chewed bubble gum and overalls. Okay, I just hadn't had time to check on him for that, but I don't even know the guy, and I don't know who in the hell he thinks he is, or matter of fact, any of them, who they think they are. The audacity of them thinking, first of all, you know, they don't want to talk to you. They act like you're not there. Well, newsflash. This again for the stalkers. Let me tell you something. Before I became targeted, now that I am targeted, and for 1,000 years to come, I wouldn't have any conversation for you under any circumstance. I don't know what would possibly make you think I would want to talk to you or have a backslapping contest and all that. I'm not into inbreeding, incest. I think and I know this, all Masons, and the Masons are involved in this, they're going to hell right along with the Mormons. So I'm just not good table company, and I think that these sexual orgies that you're having with your own family members, and sex and human trafficking is just really, I find that just absolutely morally repugnant and repulsive, and we don't have anything in common. So I appreciate you sticking your nose up there. I'm having to hold my nose most of the time, but I hadn't got anything for it. I really have tried my best in life and strive not to associate with narrow-minded, moronic losers. Fake Christians are another one. You know, those the ones that they're in church every time the door's open. Let me tell you what, folks. You can be in church every time the door's open. That ain't got anything to do with you going to heaven or going to hell. All right. There's only one way, and that's Jesus Christ and Him crucified. Period. And if you call yourself a child of God, and you're involved in this program in any way, let me tell you, you're just as culpable as Charles Manson was with the Manson family, if not more. And let me tell you, you're a fake Christian. God will never condone one of His to come against one of His own. And there's plenty of fake churches out there. There are plenty of fake preachers leading plenty of people straight to hell because they won't preach the truth. They won't tell it. It's not popular to do that. It's not popular to tell a person, say, look here, you know, Mason, they got 3 degrees. They're Master Mason. It's a Scottish Rite, 33 degrees. I'm not going to go into all that stuff. I could give a tinker's damn about all those degrees, okay? Because all of that means 0, okay? It means 0. He's coming back, folks. We're here just for a short period of time, and as a child of God, we're just passing through. This is not our home, okay? And you can rest assured, I don't care how many degrees you're in there, but a preacher that won't stand up and say, look, you can't be a Mason and be a Christian. You can't. God does not operate in secrecy, hand signals, oaths where you give you pledge your life and all that with the sword. You know, Masons, you know the deal. All of you are just washed up despots, thinking that you really got a hold of something here. You ain't got a hold of nothing. Now, so they're gonna tamper with your cars, your finances, your home, and your family life, isolate you, and you also it goes back to what I've already talked about. Be subject and targeted for false arrest, false accusations, being set up. There's a town not far from here. It's Guntown, Mississippi. Guntowm. And I promised before that I was going to do one just on that. So my perp, they had set him up to the law enforcement, gave him dope and all this stuff, and I knew something was going on, but the whole thing blew up in their face, okay? And they're still mad about it. They're still mad about it because it blew up in their face. I didn't go to jail. Well, I've been set up one time, folks. It doesn't take many times for you to wise up that stuff. But they're mad about it. That's the attitude the stalkers and perps have, is they get pissed off at the victim. Well, I'm the one supposed to be pissed off. That's under the color of law. So we're talking about law enforcement creating this paradigm that this is all, I mean, this country's famous that we had this at Pearl Harbor, that paradigm. Problem, solution. World Trade Center, problem, solution. Got the Patriot Act, lost their 4th Amendment rights. You get the picture. You don't have to be doing anything. Hell, we'll make him doing something. We'll do it because we're the law. Well, I'm going to tell you, folks, and I've been saying this. Most of, if you want to know who the muscle is, and the people that are running this program and doing this to innocent, and it doesn't matter if they're not innocent or not, okay? We have a thing called due process. So your opinion, what you think they're doing or what you saw them doing, we've got a system, asshole. It's called due process. We have civil liberties and we have a constitution. It's not on you to decide you want to do it a different way, okay? Wrong farm, wrong fool. Not going for that. So but if you want to try to figure out who they are, so what are their names? Well, I'm going to tell you, most of them are hiding. I'll tell you where they're hiding. Behind a badge and a uniform, okay? That's what they're hiding behind. Not all of them. But let me tell you what, folks. It's this is not an isolated, a couple of bad apples here and there. Get your head out of the sand if you think that. This now they're empowered to not have to deal with the fact that, and here I am live, somebody's calling me, imagine that, to deal with attorneys and due process in court, and they might get free or get probation. That's just a waste of money and time. We know how to handle them. We know how to handle them. Whoever that is calling me, get off the phone, please. I tell you. So anyway, I can't imagine. I mean, there's 5 people in the world's got my number. It's not going to be hard for me to find out who you are now. Oh, y'all excuse me. I can't stop them. I can't stop them. So that's, it's relentless, as you can see. It'll probably ring for an hour. Maybe I'll be on live when I do get them on the phone, because they won't stop calling me. All right. So I've covered the false arrest, setting people up, and so there goes the deal. Now, we can talk about the antics and the things that they do all day long and why they do it. And folks, we don't have time for that. All right, not in just one segment. You know, with the color harassment, with the cars, the vehicles, or with people wearing certain colors. That's called sensitization. And so once they do that for a period of time, then all of a sudden, all the cars, all the trucks. Let's see who this is. Okay. If anybody knows Olga, would somebody please tell her to get off the gas? Now, so that's the purpose of that. Or they wear blue hats. Now everybody's a blue hat. Every truck. And so that creates a mental psychosis. And so you're paving a way straight to the mental hospital that's there waiting for you, because it's the mental health community that helps, it works hand in hand with this community policing, which is, as mental health says, they absolutely have embraced what they call Department of Homeland Security, which is this is their major spawn here, the holistic approach to community policing. Okay, now it's not a complicated deal, folks. So that's the reason for this and that. But if you keep drinking the Kool-Aid and you think there's a spook behind every bush, then that's all you're going to be doing is talking about spooks, the bushes, here they are, and that's all you can talk about, okay? I travel, and I work to help other people. I do interviews, and I expose people in those areas and stuff. And as many of you know that don't know, they made me unemployable. I mean, killed every job opportunity I had. But God said, "Good. Now you've got a job, and this is my job." And I rely totally on people like you that are listening, that reach out to me and offer help. Without that, I don't know where my next meal's coming from, and it makes it difficult for me many times to do the job that I've been commissioned to do, and that I will do come hell or high water. This is not something I do on the side. This is not, some days I do this and other days I don't. This is all I do, folks. This is what I do. I am continuously educating myself. I am continuously talking with experts in various fields, and you wouldn't imagine, and gathering information. I'm very familiar with the federal court system. I have filed and written federal lawsuits myself. I know it. I don't sound like the sharpest tool in the shed. People hear this southern drawl, and they automatically want to deduct about 20 or 50 IQ points. But don't let that fool you. Sometimes it plays in my favor because especially those that get close to me, and I have those that can witness that. Believe me, I can move a hell of a lot quicker than I can talk. So don't try me on that, or do try me. It's on you. But I'm not going to run or hide. I love these people. Say, is there anywhere I can go to get away from these people? I have no idea. I've never remotely considered that. This is my grid. They can kiss my ass and get the hell off of it, but this old boy's not backing up. I'm not shutting up, and I sure as the hell am not going to run, hide, duck, or anything else, okay? This is war. I didn't sign on for this, but you can bet your bottom dollar this old boy's not going to run. I'm going to run to it because it's not created in my mind, as we well know. And these perps that live around me know it too. So good luck with all that. But this old boy is not, they're not going to dictate. Who they say I am and who they say you are is a damn lie. It's who God says I am. And that's all that matters. I know whose I am and who I belong to. And folks, that's the only person I got to worry about pleasing. Okay? That is the only one I answer to, and that's how I work about pleasing. Let me tell you something, stalker. Let me tell you something, FBI, InfraGard. That's the branch that runs this stalking program, and they've got 79 offices all over the United States. And then DHS Fusion Centers, they got 78, and their main toilet bowl is right there with the other toilet bowl in Salt Lake City, Utah. Now, for data collection of every person breathing, okay, they're getting your. Well, they've hacked my phone again. Come on, folks. If people may be hacking your phone, but I promise you, the FBI and the Fusion Center do not have to hack your phone. All right. They've got the damn network. They're seeing all this stuff. Last thing they do is trick you on your phone or something. So you're getting malicious stuff, and that comes from these cornbread eating, no bath taking morons that live around you close, trying to be a special agent man and do something, and they give them all the leeway they want because they got a gold card to do whatever they want to do. Okay. And if they do their job right, they compensate them. They'll get a gift card for Dollar Tree, Walmart. That's how Walmart participates in it. And some of the higher echelons in stalking, they'll get the use. It's kind of like Mary Kay. You know, you do so good, you get a pink Cadillac. In stalking, I've determined it's Hyundais and what's that other car they really like? It Hyundais and something like Kias. And so they work for that. One day to be able to drive a brand new Kia or a Hyundai. And so that's what we're dealing with on the front lines here. You know, that's their aspirations is I hope to get a new Kia. And, you know, I really, between walking and a new Kia, I'd rather walk and be bitch slapped the whole way as after driving one. But that's my opinion. So anyway, so the stalking is real. It's an organized program, and there's many elements in it. That many things that they do. Nothing is a mystery. I get people say, what about these holograms? What the hell about them? Oh, holograms. I'm not spooked by a hologram. And I want to caution anybody else that's hearing this. Please don't let a hologram scare you. And one, two, don't tell anybody that a hologram scared you, okay? That, you know, that's big, you know, riding mopeds are fun, but I sure as the hell wouldn't tell anybody I've been riding a moped today. You know, really, it's just some things we don't really need to know. Holograms have been around since 1946. It's not a new deal, all right? David Copperfield makes elephants. Is an elephant a hologram? It's a hologram, okay? It's a damn hologram, okay? Holograms are not going to kill you. They can put holograms. I don't give a damn about a hologram. But what I do give a damn about is there's somebody, Key thinks it's funny, that's doing it. Now, the satellites are equipped with cameras, have been forever, and click, hologram, and it's that simple. And so, I don't know, does the FBI and Department of Homeland Security have access to satellites. Okay, there you go, folks. So they all work together in this holistic deal, and then we get V2K. There's thousands that are big. Folks, V2K is real. So to believe that the Butterbean gang in the Kia deal, they've all got this equipment. Again, no, they don't. These people, look, are struggling to figure out how to turn their flip phones on and off, okay? They damn sure not operating this shit. So, again, it's like the hologram. Quit giving these morons credit. Now, I'm not saying I'll get people, it's real, and hell, that's worse. That's my V2K. It's getting, 500 or 600 brainwashed victims that want to hold me down until I scream awful and start swearing oaths and allegiance to V2K. But the point I'm trying to make is this is not about V2K. But it is, and I'm going to get to that. Oklahoma, Mississippi. I did a post. They've got a coroner there. His name's Michael Fowler. What he doesn't know, and he's also a secret special agent or something like that. He's a pathetic, in all sense of lives in a house trailer and got dogs bigger than horses in there. You can imagine what's on the floor because they're not going to the yard, okay? And so people that live in, if you want to live like that, fine. I'm not going to live in a zoo. I'd be in a zoo if I were to live in one. So this individual, as I was suing the sheriff's department that he's affiliated with in federal court, Chickasaw County Sheriff's Department, along with some other people, what he doesn't know is that I have information and can produce sworn testimony about how, not one time, but on numerous occasions, took it upon himself to come into my residence and I'm not going to point out all the things that were done inside of my home. Do they put listening devices and cameras and things like that? Yes. This pertained to the federal lawsuit. Those papers and the evidence and the things, the notes had been tampered with and stolen. I did file a complaint with the court. I made that known at that time, and that will be revisited. And these people that are these people in law enforcement and stuff, and these Masons and veterans, you got a lot of veterans that get involved in this. And I'm gonna say something about these veterans, folks. And I'm the first one to stand up to support our troops. It doesn't matter what war you fought in or if you fought, but the fact that you serve this country, they know as well as I know that not all of them are patriots. I mean, they know, and so those people, they get old, and everybody says, "Oh, we got to," but you don't know. This guy, a slacker, worthless piece of shit, drawing a government check, and now everybody's saying he's a hero and all this stuff, and wouldn't bust a grape in a food fight, and now he's out stalking people, and he's drawing a veteran's check, going to the VA and all that. People are waving the American flag. Let me tell you what. That veteran, I'll just leave it at what needs to be done to him. You're not a hero, and you're a disgrace to that flag. You're a disgrace to the hundreds and thousands of countless men and women that have died through the years to protect this country and to give us that Constitution and those civil liberties that you absolutely participate in violating every single day. Spitting in your face would be too good. So let me tell you, I'm not shedding any tears. We got veterans that are participating in this. There's been over 150, let's see, I would say it's 150,000. I think I'm right on these numbers. Suicides in military. I believe I'm right on those numbers. Somebody, y'all can correct me wrong. It's high. I think I'm right. Soldiers committing suicide. Why is that? Well, I can tell you why that is. It's for a lot of reasons. For the same reason that when a person goes to prison, the odds are highly in their favor that they'll return. Recidivism has always been high. Not because that's the way it is, no, by God, because that's the way it's designed. The last thing the prison industry wants to do is go out of business. I mean, if we didn't have drugs and all these things going on, look at it, the people in law enforcement. I mean, we got towns with less than 500 people that got SWAT teams, tanks, goddamn rocket launchers. I mean, get the hell, really? They don't even have a red light. They've got more tactical bullshit than a lot of countries' own military has. I'm talking Barney Fife with this stuff. And here's how they get it. They stalk. We got crime. We got crime. We got over 500 domestic terrorists we're watching just right here in this area. We can't tell you who they are, but they're here. That's what we're doing. That's how they get the grant money. And no, they're out here because that person was a whistleblower, or those she's successful, or he's good looking, whatever it is. His car's too nice. His house is too pretty. It didn't take much. It's a low bar, if a bar at all, to get on that list, folks. This is a fact. And so as long as they're got names and they're writing down what they're doing, the money keeps coming in. Okay, it's all about the money, and God forbid that somebody kick the golden goose. But folks, let me tell you what, that's called racketeering. Okay, that's called racketeering. And when you're getting this money, it's grant money, and you are being trained and endorsed and given your logistics by the federal government, and local law enforcement is backing it up, and fire departments and all of this stuff, because they're all getting their back scratched. Walmart's getting their back scratched because if you play ball, you get to stay around and you get to be here. If you don't play ball, let me tell you, there's a lot of businesses shuttered. There's a lot of people unemployed. Folks, there's a lot of people that are going to make it through this COVID deal, and a lot won't. They determine that. That's what this is about. So, this Michael Fowler, he's a coroner too. I mean, I think I don't know what you have to do to be a coroner, but he not only did he obstruct justice and committed several felonies as it pertains to me. I think he didn't think those chickens would ever come home to roost. He may still believe that they're not going to come home to roost. And I'm here to tell you, that sound you hear, fella, they're coming home to roost. Now, his ace boon coon was Jimmy Rape, R-A-P-P-E. They pronounce it another way. I mean, it looks like rape. I went to school in Alabama. That's rape with two P's. It was doing just that, raping guys and girls, underage, some of them overage, and menage a trois, and you won't go to jail. For what? Well, you got drugs, or you do now, whatever, and this went on forever. But he's still a pillar of the community, shaking hands at the church and all that. Keith Robertson, which is the chief deputy in Chickasaw County, and they fired Jimmy Rape. And he went to I think he went to a retreat for 30 days, and so I guess he's not going to rape people no more and be good and all that kind of stuff. Really? And that sorry bastard's got the audacity to harass and stalk me and call me everything but a child of God. But it's him, people like him and Curtis Knight that are guilty of the very things, and they'll set people up and put their worst deep-seated secrets on somebody else, and that's all they want to talk about. But remember this, folks: the person sitting there beating that drum all the time, whether they said, "Well, I can't stand homosexuals and stuff," everybody knows that he's sweeter than bear's meat. The one talking about how they hate him so much is one that just can't get in a dress quick enough, their own dress. But so that's how it works. And look, now they're pillars of the church. Now God does forgive and all that, but look here, folks. Well, you get a church and then they got the 12-step program, celebrate outbreak, celebrate recovery. It's a 12-step program. Rick Warren, Saddleback Church, cult, purpose-driven life, bullshit, nationwide. They're organizing churches, folks, fake Christians. Now, this guy is a convicted child serial rapist, okay? And he and his family, and that is apparently it's a genetic thing. Those are the people that have targeted me. Now, because I have got a clue what they, I'm sure they have demonized it and everything, but whatever. But look here, I'm not the one. I've never been accused. I'm not the one out here raping kids, buying and selling illegal drugs, and so that's the reason a lot of people get targeted, is because usually, and most times, the victim knows things about certain individuals that, come hell or high water, they will do everything within their power to make sure that never comes out. And so, therefore, they target you, and that's why they're hitting you in so many different angles, to cripple you to a point, and hopefully you will cut your damn jugular vein and not run your head and let the truth out, like I'm doing about these people I'm talking about, okay? And so when I bring up names like 85-year-old Bill McBride in Columbus, Mississippi, cash and carry. He is a kingpin of pimping his own daughter out, sex and drug trafficking, selling it out of his house. He's a pillar of the community. Because how dare you? Or V.M. Cleveland, the darling of Tupelo, Mississippi, in the furniture market, one of the biggest furniture markets in the country. Let me tell you, folks, when these furniture manufacturers come to Tupelo, Mississippi, and they set up and they do business there, they're supporting drug and sex trafficking, child trafficking, criminal stalking, and murder for hire. When you support these people, that's what you're doing. That, no more, no less. This is serious business, folks. This is not just in this area. It's everywhere. We have a sheriff in Lee County, Mr. Jimmy Johnson. Well, we just love him. He's a good man. I don't know what you're basing that on. I mean, he's got black deputies. I mean, we've got a large African-American thing here. He's been quoted many times. His language would make Mark Furman look like Mother Teresa. And he said, well, I was just irritated that day or whatever. He personally owes me money that he ran in an advertisement. But yeah, he's the chair. Listen, shit rolls downhill, Sheriff. You can't, your organization doing that, and this joint multi-jurisdictional task force, where you've got federal agencies and the locals, and everybody's working together to holistically police this thing, where you're targeting people, picking people out of a crowd, beat 100 cars going 80, and you get one doing 60, you stop giving them a ticket because they're targeted. So you manipulate the system, you abuse our judicial system, and ticket people, arrest people, incarcerate people, and it's who you decide. It had got shit to do with whether they broke the law or not. That's a fact. That's a fact. If you're a district attorney, and this is in most cases, but here in Mississippi, it's not like an attorney general. It's a totally different deal. District attorneys are elected. Now, district attorney can decide whether or not they want to prosecute a case or not. They don't have to. I mean, you can be a mass murderer, and if they want to prosecute it, it's not going anywhere. You can't say, well, we're going to try them anyway. You can't do it because he has to be the one to introduce it to the grand jury. So we got Weedle, his last name. It's changed. It was Von Weedle, but they changed it. They got it to America. It's Weedle, and so what he does is he's taking care of this holistic community now. They've got fake Christian rehabs that would make 7-Eleven and McDonald's blush. They're everywhere. Now, we have supposed to have a separation of power. These 501(c) companies, but yet they're forcing people and ordering them and directing them into these fake Christian rehabs. Well, there's a loophole to do that. You know, they said, well, look here, it's either prison or you go to fake Christian rehab, okay? Well, and so it doesn't matter what their religious preferences are, because the Bible says, lock them up for a year and make them get a job and make them give most of their paycheck to you and force Jesus down their throat. 24 hours a day, said, make them memorize scriptures and stuff, and they'll get the picture. That's exactly what Jesus said do, isn't it? No. Okay? That's called a cult. Okay? That is the furthest thing from God in the Bible as you can get. All right? Jesus says nobody comes to him unless they be drawn by the Holy Spirit. People say, well, there are many ways to Christ. No, there's only one way. The Holy Spirit must draw you. And there's only one way to God. Jesus says, I am the way. There's only the only way to the Father is but by me. Not through some crooked, criminal district attorney taking a person that has been out there perping for you, crash dummying for you, and you got to get them off the street before they run their mouth too much and give your shit away and say, well, they was on dope. Now they're getting full of Jesus. And really. And so I've got plenty of those that I can substantiate that with it as well. So when I'm talking about this, not something I assume, it's something that I know for a fact, okay? I know for a fact that they actually will release them in the middle of the day. It doesn't matter. And send them on a mission. If you want to get high, sure. Get them a couple of 8 balls. Get them some rigs, whatever they got to do. Send them on the mission and stuff and bring them right back in there. Praise God, he's doing God's work. That's Broken Lives Ministry, Nettleton, Mississippi. Okay? So we don't need to be secrets about that. And I could, and I'm not going to do that, because the Stalking organization wants me to crucify the crash dummies. These people that you're seeing, they're doing all this stupid stuff to you folks, victim. They want you, they don't care. They think they're protected. They think they're special. You know what I mean? They've got secret powers, X-Men kind of stuff, whatever, you know. But what they really don't know is they're very expendable, okay? These local sheriffs and police officers, they think they're have got divine marching orders from on high. No, sir, you're expendable. You're expendable. It's the boys at the DHS Fusion Center and the FBI InfraGard, my friend. They're not worried. They're laughing at all of you. Hayseed, podunk, narrow-minded, money-hungry, confused individuals. You're going to be the first to go. Trust me, you'll be the first to go. Don't matter how many people voted for you or how much of a good old boy you think you are. This country has had enough of good old boys, okay? Damn a bunch of backslapping. We are all given and born. Our birthright is this, folks. Is this inalienable right? Is life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's my birthright. That's your birthright. Nobody, and I mean nobody, has the authority or has the power to deprive any American citizen of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And my friend, when you do that, you have trampled all over their God-given, American-given, birthright, constitutional protected right. And by God, we are going to make sure, that you're called to the carpet for that. It's not about we can't prove anything. You can't prove you aren't doing it. It's not my job as the victim to do an investigation and build the case, asshole. It's going to be your job to be able to convince everybody you're not doing it. You're not going to be able to do it. Now, going back to this R&M, and then I'll try to wrap it up with that. Folks, they do it. We know they do it microwave. It's the low current of signals that they're sending into the target's home, and then that comes back and it gives them like a 3D image they can hear and all that stuff. Well, how do they know when they leave? How do they know when they do it? They see me when they're in the bathroom. Yeah. And of course, we're quick to say they're peeping Tom perverts. And you know, they say, we're not peeping Tom. They just think we're peeping. Bitch, you're a peeping Tom. You're watching people. You're a creepy, perverted peeping Tom. Period. I don't care what you name it. All right? You can call it baking cakes. You're still a perverted peeping Tom. Now, those signals, by the way, can be tracked, pinpointed exactly where they're coming from. Hello? Now, so we're going to be introducing, me especially, some methods to kind of turn the tables on this deal, okay? And so through this remote neural monitoring, they're able to, and it causes psychosis, sleep deprivation, then delusions, hallucinations, all that. Mental health's waiting on you. And it's voyeurism. And then the EMF feeds where people they're live streaming and watching people, and they're playing with their minds, getting them to masturbate, do all that, because they're all sexual perverted. Let me tell you, folks, it's if you're under R&M, it's all about sex. Okay, it's all about sex, and if people are doing it, people that can't get sex. Okay, listen. I'm telling you, this level of sex and drug and child trafficking, folks, is their backbone. Their backbone is this remote neural monitoring network. And guess what? The FBI, hello, the FBI has absolutely sanctioned and condoned this. Arizona, in just a matter of a few months, it had over 10,000, this is never say, children. They don't know what the hell happened to them. They're missing. I don't hear anybody talking about that. I hear people jump on Facebook, and you know, somebody said, "I'm just wondering if it's a correlation with blood types. I wonder if it's a correlation with your zodiac sign." Okay, and you know, and first of all, that's a perp that's on there asking kind of questions like that. Who gives a shit what somebody? Folks, let me tell you, don't get on my page with that stuff. I'm telling you. I'm the victim, the target when targeting goes wrong. Okay, if they've got a picture of what did it look like when targeting goes wrong, there's several, I'm sure, definitions of that. Some of them real bad, but I'm one of those definitions. Okay, please do not come asking some dumb ass question or say or ask me if your stalking is gonna stop. Or say something like you was stalked at one time, okay? You'd be better off getting on Targeted Justice and get on the Ella Show, all of those fake-ass perp TI sites, and get one of those ribbons and sit there and just get all wet over talking to these celebrity know-it-alls, and guess what? You're not going to get anywhere. And my phone's ringing again. So, all in a day's work, folks. I mean, so that's, I won't get a phone call, but I can get on here and go live, and guess what? It will, and it's usually the same person, and I know it sounds like I'm sounding like I'm being stalked, but yep, I mean, maybe the phone's not ringing. The dog perked his ears, the dog heard it. So, I'm working and still working with some people that are way smarter than me, that have and I've been talking to them daily, and I have some important things scheduled. I know where, for instance, where the people are that are doing it to me. You don't hear me talking a lot about it because, I mean, what's there to talk about, okay? There's a lot of things I'd like to talk about all day, and talking about that is not one of them, okay? Now, talking about recipes on how to skin one of them son of a bitches and how many different ways you could cook one, you might get me for at least a half a day. But I'm just not on them. I know where they are. They know. Now I'm not thinking, well, he thinks this and all that. Well, look here. I want to make it real clear. And then I'm talking to those that are close to me, okay? The good news is I'm not going to call the police. I'm not going to sue you in court and all that, okay? I'm not going to do that. I know where you are. You do the math, sweetheart, okay? Do the math. It's going to stop. It's going to stop. And so there's other things that we can do electronically and just kind of use what you've been doing, but we turn the tables. And I'm working on some things to turn the tables. Just as relentless, just as intrusive, just as involuntarily as it was on me, okay? Folks, let me tell you, that sword cuts two ways. It cuts two ways. Also, I am working on with some other people, and I'm going to start asking people to submit a small statement, their name, address, your contact information. Don't if you're not going to give that, don't send it. Okay. If you're, I get people on here that I use alias. I don't want to use my real name and all that. Well, don't waste my time, okay? Because I'm being stalked, and believe me, they know who you are if you're being stalked. All right, they know what size underwear you wear. They probably got some of them at their house, and if to think that you're on social media and you're hidden somehow by using an alias, it tells me that you're a confused perp and you're talking to the wrong boy, okay? So take that somewhere else, okay? If you're a victim, they ain't no secrets, okay? And for the victims, y'all can all raise your hand and say, hallelujah. Ain't no damn secrets, all right? So if we can't talk here, where can we talk? But we're not gonna be, it's clandestine stuff. But where you can send your statement, you can do a voice deal and send it. And I'm talking to other people, and we're going to collect these things. With that, we're also going to have a very organized drive on with that recording and your signature, digital signature on a petition. And all this will be presented to every single member of Congress. Now, then it will be followed up relentlessly, every single member of Congress. And we're going to beat that drum, if it has to be every day, with every one of them, until we get the hearings and we get the recognition that, by God, we're going to get. Okay? Now, that's what we're going to do. Now, it's going to be done right. I am going to be consulting, and I will not name drop. If I did, there's not a person that, unless you were born a few minutes ago, would not know the names. And I am already have been getting advice and getting feedback from high-ranking politicians. Okay, this is not something that I just dreamed up on a whim. Okay, now we're going to attack this in a way that that we're going to get the attention that we want. One, okay. Two, let me be real clear here. Two, we're going to get results. Okay. Just put this in your time capsule that I told you that here today. Okay. And I'm a man of my word, and I'm telling you what, the checks that I'm writing, by God, you can take them to the bank. You can take them to the bank. I'm banking. I'm putting all of my marbles on the table with this Constitution and our civil rights, folks. And by God, and I just don't believe, as many times in tyrants and all the things that this country's had to endure, I believe at the end of the day that Constitution is going to say, hey, hold on there. You got things messed up. And as it stands, these people feel like some of the things they're doing is legal. And well, but they're not talking about the illegal stuff, okay? Well, folks, let me tell you what, you can't be running a program. It's like running an operation where you're robbing banks, but you didn't break the speed limit in the getaway car. And so say, well, you know, we did some things right, so we all look over. That dog ain't gonna hunt. I know firsthand people that I've interviewed that have been murdered and that have died under murdered. Some died supposedly accidental because of this. I know who's behind it. I've said their names. This is not something I read or thought of, okay? It's very real. Now, does this mean you as a victim, do you have to worry about, you know, they're cooking me alive? I don't personally know anybody that has been boiled alive and microwaved. I hear that all the time. You know, they're gradually getting me. You know, I'm getting cancer and all this other stuff. And, you know, and I just, let me tell you what, folks. In Proverbs it says, as a man thinketh, so shall he be. If you keep putting that in, and you keep accentuating that negative and that defeat, and I'm dying, they're burning me, they're cooking me, and nobody can talk to you because you yes butting them to hell. Yes, but just wait for me to shut up. Yes, but yes, but yes, but. You know what? I get all kind of pains and this and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you hear me saying about it. I mean, you know, that's life. Okay. I played football in high school. My dad played professional football. I could imagine him saying, damn, that hurt. Oh, my God, just be talking about that. Never talked about it. Never talked about it. This is part of it, okay? So, okay, they're electrocuting it. Whatever they're doing, let me tell you, anytime something happens to me out of the ordinary, you know what it does? It motivates me. The stalkers know that. I see two cars of the same damn color. I get on a high horse quick. If I get gas, by God, I start posting about these son of a bitches. I give them credit for every wind's blowing right. I'm going to put it on them, but I'm not going to sit there and cry and try to see how many more sheets of tinfoil I can put over my damn head. I'm out here hunting these people and putting them on blast, folks. We've got to fight, stand our ground, grow a set, get a backbone instead of a wishbone, and we're gaining ground, folks. Hold your head up. You're not what they say you are. You're not crazy. Now, I'm telling you, I've met some victims that are cooked gooses, okay? Because all they want to do is be validated over and over and over and over again how they're getting gassed. And I'm like, oh, God almighty, please. You know, I mean, okay, they're gradually killing you, okay? I mean, my God. You'd think they was in Auschwitz or something. Hell, them people, they'd take them months. It was pretty damn quick, wasn't it? You know, and they'd be smoking cigarettes the whole time. Get off of that. Quit making it about you. Quit making it about you, okay? I don't make it about me. They said, well, you know, they're doing all these things too. Well, I tell you what, they better work quicker. Because as long as this old boy's got a breath, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. So they best get on about their business and kill my ass. But I'm not gonna sit there and talk about it, because when you're talking about it, psychosomatically, they are killing you, and that's what the program is designed to do. Is once you're convinced here, everything else just follows through to do what you've already programmed in your mind to do. If you tell a child enough times that he's no good, I'll guarantee you, he'll be no good. He'll be no good. I'm telling you, folks, the mind is very sophisticated. Whatever you put into your mind, whatever goes into your mind, is what is going to come out. If you put in the good, the clean, the pure, and the powerful, and the positive, I will promise you, you'll see life in a different perspective. You will look at things differently. But if you're always putting in the negative, and if you've got a case of stinking thinking, then hopefully I'm giving you a checkup from the neck up, okay? Because look, I don't have time to hear about all the negative and the woe is me and all that kind of stuff. You know, doctors don't live long. I can see why. Because everybody's complaining. They never hear any good news. Nobody goes to doctors. I just wanted to come in and check up and tell you how good everything was. No, they've got this wrong, that wrong, and oh my God, I could not be a doctor, okay? And so, you know, say, well, you know, my doctor can get any bedside man. Yeah, they might have had bedside man when they started, but you can man years of that. It's like, oh God, bitch, die. They want to say that, but they don't. But you know, they have to get tired of that. And folks, let me tell you, it is a drain. You're draining yourself. This is how organized criminal stalking works. It's self-implosion. Where there's no vision, the people perish. When you lose sight, the people perish. Folks, let me tell you, many days I lived in that rearview mirror. And I'll say it, I've said it before. I've come too far to turn back now. I've come too far to look back. The dreams and the treasures, they've all faded from view. All those friends, they're gone. All those things that were once beautiful and glorious, they're all, but let me tell you, there's a new day ahead, and it's better. Victory is ahead. Your health, your well-being, your recovery, your victory is ahead. But if you buy what the home office is selling, you will not make it. Get out of that rearview mirror. Thank God they isolated you. When you look back at the ones, let me tell you what, folks. If they left you, let me tell you, you didn't need them anyway. A real friend's not going to leave you. A real friend's not going to let anybody get in their ear. I got friends, I know all the good about them and the bad about them. I'm still their friend. Doesn't mean I agree with everything, but I can tell you one thing. When the dust settles and the smoke clears and everybody else is going to belly up, this old boy's still going to be there. They even exploited that, took advantage of that. But you know what? I'm still true blue. I'm still that person, because they're not going to change that. They can't take that from me, and they can't take it from you. We're winning. I want to hear from you. I want to hear your story. Like I say, I do travel, and for those that can't help, look, I'm dependent on others helping me to be able to continue to do what I'm doing. Until next time, God bless you.